What do a barrel of crude oil in Saudi Arabia, a bag of coffee beans in Colombia, and a brand new smartphone manufactured in Taiwan have in common? They are all bought and sold using a green piece of paper printed by a single country. The US dollar is the undisputed king of global finance. It's sitting in your wallet right now, completely ordinary. But have you ever stopped to wonder why the entire world agreed to use America's paper to run their own economies? And what happens if the rest of the world suddenly decides they don't want it anymore? To understand this, you have to realize that the global financial system didn't happen by accident. It was the result of a massive high-stakes geopolitical flex. For thousands of years, money had to be backed by something real. If a country wanted to print currency, they needed an equal amount of physical gold sitting inside a vault to prove its value. But during World War II, Europe was completely devastated. To buy weapons, food, and supplies from America, European nations shipped almost all of their physical gold across the Atlantic Ocean. By 1944, the war was ending, and the United States was holding an absolute monopoly. Nearly 70% of the entire world's gold supply was sitting in US vaults. The global economy was shattered, and world leaders desperately needed a stable system to restart trade. So the US invited 44 nations to a luxury hotel in New Hampshire for a meeting known as the Bretton Woods Conference. And that is when America pulled off the ultimate chess move. The US delegation basically told the world, look, it's too difficult and dangerous for everyone to keep shipping heavy gold bars back and forth across the ocean to buy things. So let's do this instead. Put your gold in our vaults. We will tie our US dollar directly to that gold, and you can all just use our paper dollars to trade with each other. We promise a dollar will always be as good as gold. The world was desperate, so they agreed. The US dollar officially became the global reserve currency. But then, in 1971, the system hit a catastrophic wall. America was spending massive amounts of money on the Vietnam War and domestic programs, printing way more paper dollars than they actually had gold to back up. Foreign countries, noticing the scam, panicked and started demanding their actual gold back. President Richard Nixon had to make a choice: let the US economy collapse or break the promise. On live television, he shocked the world by announcing that the US dollar would no longer be backed by gold. Overnight, the dollar transformed into fiat money, a currency backed by absolutely nothing but a government's promise. The world was furious, but America already had their next genius play lined up. The petrodollar. The US made a secret deal with Saudi Arabia, the world's biggest oil exporter. America promised to protect the Saudi royal family with their military, and in exchange, Saudi Arabia agreed to sell their oil exclusively in US dollars. Think about how unhinged that is. If Japan wanted to buy oil from Saudi Arabia, they couldn't use Japanese yen. They had to first buy US dollars from America and then hand those dollars to the Saudis. Suddenly, every country on earth was forced to hoard piles of US paper just to keep their lights on. The gap between a citizen checking their checking account balance on a banking app and a naval warship patrolling a shipping lane in the Middle East is a massive geopolitical chasm. One sees a number on a screen used to buy groceries. The other is the military muscle required to make sure the world keeps respecting a piece of paper. Both are keeping the illusion alive. So the next time you look at a dollar bill, don't just see a piece of paper. You are looking at the ultimate weapon of global power, a currency born from a gold monopoly, sustained by a secret oil deal, and backed by the most powerful military machine in human history.